Hello, welcome to episode 380. We're going to be making some very cool sci-fi double sliding doors. Like I'm on a spaceship. Here they are. So I can't go through at the moment because they're shut, obviously. But I can click on them. Oh, they make a nice noise. Listen to that. Ooh. They are very cool. Sliding doors. For a nice sci-fi lab or spaceship or something. I find that I'm about to start waffling, so instead of waffling, I'll just say I'm in version 1.21. You should definitely make this in earlier versions. And let's get on and build it now. Okay, I'm going to start off with the scoreboard objective, and it's going to save the state of the door. Is it opening or close? Set up. And let's have scoreboard. Objective, it's going to save the state. I'm just going to call it state. Dummy. Okay, let's make ourselves a door frame. Let's do it here. Holo. No. Wool. Thank you. Okay, right, up. We'll have it too wide. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and I'm going to get this block here. Fill, tab, 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 and get the coordinates of it. Copy. Okay, let's make ourselves a door. Put it a bit far away, didn't I? So this will be, well, we'll just call it create. Create. I'm going to summon a block display at those coordinates, and then we want a load of information. So we'll have some tags. I'm going to call it slide door, because that's what it is. It'll need a block state, open and close, which needs a name, Minecraft, light, grey, stained, glass, pane. Well, we'll find out if I've remembered that name correctly. Okay, that'll do for a test actually, and I'll make a kill as well. Remove, kill any entity whose tag equals slide door. Okay, right, so we've got it in the wrong place. It needs to be positioned better, so we're going to have to do the minus half its size, and it's not stretched out. Let's look for a pane, and similar to the last episode, we'll press F3 and we can see on the right there, well, that one is just north. Okay, but if we had another block there, it's now north and south properties are true. Okay, so we're going to have to change that as well. So let's get rid of that. Will that get rid of it? Should do. It's gone. Okay, so let's do properties first. So inside the block state, so we need to be after the name there, we'll do some properties. Open and close, and we wanted north, true, and south, true. Okay, we're done. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Now let's give it some transformation information. So we've come out of the properties, out of the block state, and we need transformation, open and close, you know what's coming now, left rotation, and all defaults, and then I'll copy all the way up to the word left, because we then want right rotation, paste that in, and I'm going to do scale first this time, scale, doesn't matter in the order, and translation. Okay, so my scale is going to be, well, I suppose I want it one wide, but it's a 2 high door, so 2 high and 1 wide there. Now I need to center that, so half of 1 on the X will be minus 0.5. It'll already be centered on the Y, and we need to center it on the Z as well, so minus 0.5. Okay, let's try that. Done. Looks good. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's get rid of that. We're also going to need to give it a passenger, an interaction, so we can actually interact with it. So let's come out of the transformation and we'll have passengers. Will be a list of passengers. We're going to have one. It will be ID Minecraft interaction. Yeah, I should give it a tag as well, really. Tags. And we'll have one tag which we'll call slide door, so we can target them all at the same time. And I need a width. So make sure we're inside the passenger. Yes, we are. Now, when the door is closed, there's going to be a barrier there. So the width is going to have to be wider than the barrier, which is one block. So let's do width 1.01, just a little bit wider than it. And height is going to have to be 2 because that's the height of the door. So height 2. Okay. Done. Create one. F3D, clear the chat. F3B, show hitboxes. Oh, that looks right. Okay, and we can see it's just poking out a little bit. So I shouldn't be able to put a block there. Okay. Yeah. We can see it's just poking out. Okay, so I should be able to interact with that. Cool. That should get rid of both. It does indeed. Okay. Now, we're probably going to have the problem. It's going to slide in to the wall. And if it does that, it's going to say, oh, I'm in a block. And so its brightness will need to be fixed. So let's come out of the passengers. There we go. And we'll do brightness. And we'll have sky 15, and block 15. So that's the brightness taken care of. And we also want to make sure it's facing the right way, because we're going to teleport it forwards the way it's looking. So for now, well, if we guess it wrong, it's not a problem. So let's just say, let's look that way. Okay, we'll start that way, and if it's wrong, doesn't matter, we'll just change it. So that way is facing south towards positive Z, 0, 0. Okay. So let's get rid of F3, and we'll come on to the end of this, and we'll give it a rotation. We'll give it a rotation of 0F, 0F. Now I have a feeling that might be the wrong way, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't really mind because we'll find out. Okay. Now all I'm going to do, so that should make 1. Cool. So it is. We can see it's looking that way. Okay. Now I'm just going to copy this block and paste it down there, and I'm going to change impulse and always active. There we go. So we are currently putting one here, and I want another one here. So that's negative Z, that direction. So let's go to where we're summoning it, and we'll take 1 off the Z. So 1 off there, 14. And we want this one looking the other way. So we'll say 180 for its rotation. Okay, now let's press that again. So it looks right. We've got the 2 doors. One is facing out that direction. One is facing, we see the blue line, out that direction. Okay, cool. Now we need to control when we click on it. So we'll have an input controller. I think we're going to need 2 controllers. I think that might, in my head, that makes sense. There's probably better ways of doing stuff. You know what I'm like, making it up as I go along. So, this will be repeating, and we will execute as any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals slide door. Now, if it's in the process of sliding already, I don't want it to be able to do anything to it. So I'm also going to say tag is not equal to in use, and at yourself on your target. So make sure it's got a target. Run tag any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals slide door, whose sort equals nearest, whose limits equals 2, because we're getting the interaction entity and the block display. We'll give them both the tag, and we'll say add in use. Okay, so now it's being used. What do we need to do now? Let's change its state. Now, when we first do it, have we pressed that? Let's press it anyway, just in case. When we first do it, it's going to be null. So we're going to have to... Actually, we can do a check. We can do execute as any entity. What we'll do is we'll just do a toggle. Type equals interaction, tag equals in use. We will store success as a score on yourself into your state score if score yourself state matches 0. Okay, let's say done, and probably what I'll do here is let's do execute as, this is a temporary command, this one for testing, type equals interaction, remove run data remove entity interaction. So we're going to remove the interaction entity from it, and I'll also, we have to get rid of that in use. So this is also temporary. Tag all entities. We're not going to say type or anything. We don't care. It's just testing. Remove in use. Okay, let's turn that on and let's have a look at scoreboard objectives. Set display to the sidebar state. F3, right. Okay, we've got it flashing nice and fast, which is not what we want, but it is toggling between the two. We can see that switching between 0 and 1, and if we click on this one, okay, nothing's going to happen when we click on that one. Bit strange, but true. Okay, let's keep going since we know it's toggling. Let's take that off for now. Okay. Now, if it's being opened, we want the interaction entity to go smaller. Now, the problem here is it's big. So we can click, when there's a barrier block here, we can still click on it. But then when the door slides across, we'll be able to still click on it when it's in the wall. So we're going to have to go thin. So let's execute at, actually, let me check what we've got here. Execute as, that's right. And I think this one is going to need to be the same. Execute as any entity. Type equals interaction. Tag equals in use. Scores equals state equals 0. Then we will run data merge entity yourself, and we're going to say make your width smaller than 1 block, so 0.99. Okay, done. Now I think we can stop that toggling. We'll make this one here conditional. So add in use. If in use has been added, then we will flick. Okay, let's do a little check. We will 1. It's turned on. We're not getting anything at the moment. That's because it's still got the tag. We've removed our checks. Okay, silly me. Let's put down a block here. We'll have to do it again. Execute as any entity whose type equals interaction. Run data merge data remove. Oh my dear, my spelling today. I'm so sorry. Interaction. data remove entity S interaction. That will remove its interaction. Tag any entity, remove in use. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, cool. That's toggling better now. Let's remove those temporary blocks. So let's have a look at what we've got. Quick recap. Let's hide that. First, we target the door that's not in use, and we say it's in use. If it is in use, then we toggle its state, and if its state equals 0, we make it thin. Okay, that seems alright. And if we make it thin, so we'll make this one conditional, if we make it thin, we will execute at any entity whose type equals interaction, tag equals in use. We could probably do scores as well. Scores equals state equals 0, and we will run fill at those coordinates, and we better lift one up so we can get the ceiling as well. We'll fill in air. That doesn't say air, but we only want to replace barrier blocks. Okay, done. And now I suppose let's copy this check here. Control middle mouse. Let's put this down. And this time we're going to say execute as type equals action, tag equals state equals 1, data merge, and we'll better make it wide again so we can click it through the barrier. Okay, and if we do that, control copy that one, state equals 1, then we will fill with barrier, but we're only going to replace air. Okay, done. Now I'm going to, well, let's get rid of that. Now I'm going to remove the interaction because we've done our interacted. Execute as any entity, type equals interaction, tag equals in use. Doesn't matter what if it's opening or closing, we still want to get rid of its data. Data remove entity yourself, your interaction. Done. So that's all right. Now I want to play the opening animation though. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a set block here. Fill. Copy. So if you've done that, then we'll make this one conditional. We will set block at those coordinates, redstone block. Yeah, that seems alright. And if we do that, we want to play a sound. We want to play a sound for the door opening and closing. So we'll do conditional. We will execute as any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals in use. We want to play it when it's opening and closing, so we won't pick a score. Run play sound entity dot breeze dot inhale. We'll play it on the master channel for all players at those coordinates. I think this is quite loud. Let's do quite quiet, 0.2. Let's drop the pitch down a bit. Minimum volume is 0. Okay. So what are we going to get if we click on this now? Okay, we got the sound once, but it's still got the tag in use. So let's remove. Oh, we've got that block there. We'll get rid of that for now and create a new one. I think that sound was a bit quiet. Let's go up to 0.5 or something. Okay, still feels pretty quiet. So let's remove them and replace them. We're getting rid of the in use tag by doing that. Let's just put it up to 1 then. Okay. Why does it feel so quiet? Are we executing as? Okay, that's why it's sounding so quiet. Let's put it back down. We are executing as the interaction, but not at the interaction. So we're playing it at this command block. There we go. In fact, we could probably get rid of that. We don't really need to reference the interaction. We just need its location. So we'll just do at. There we go. Now let's try it. Oh, that's better. Okay. Right, let's reset. Get some new ones. And let's deal with the animation. So this is going to be my animation controller. That block, I'll change it to that. But it can be anything. So this will be the controller for the animation. And this does need to be set to needs redstone because we only want it to run when the redstone block gets placed there. So let's have a timer. Scoreboard. Players. Add. We'll use the same timer. We'll use the state timer. We don't need another one. We'll call it door. State 1. Yeah, that seems alright. Okay. And then we will execute if score dot door state matches 1 to 20. Yeah, I think this is okay. As any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals in use. Uh-oh, look at that. In use, whose scores equals state equals 0. So that's going to get the interaction entity, but we need to move the block display. So the interaction entity is a passenger of the block display. So we can say on vehicle. So that'll go down to the block display. At the block display, run teleport yourself. And this is why the direction matters. 0.04 in the way you're facing. Okay. Done. And you're facing that way, so you should teleport forwards, and you should teleport forwards, and you should both open. Okay, that seems alright. I'm going to copy that block and put it in there as well. And I'm just going to say state equals 1. So now we're closing, and I'll put a minus. So now they should go backwards. That's okay. And now we just need to stop this. So let's get the coordinates of that block there. Fill, tap, tap, tap. Copy. Let us... What should we do? I just say if execute. That's a good way of spelling it. If score. Today is a very bad day for spelling. Execute if score. Well, I'd say for typing. I know how to spell it. I just can't type it. State matches 20 or higher. Then we will run set block at those coordinates we just copied. White wool. So that's going to turn off this animation controller, and then we'll have a conditional. If you turn it off, then tag any entity, type equals interaction, and it's still in use, so tag equals in use. I can see that little typo there. Remove in use. And reset the time. So let's make this conditional as well, and we'll do scoreboard players reset dot door state. Okay. Oh, let's have a try. See what happens. Ooh, it's nice. Oh, it looked like I could see it. Okay, I said now I can't click on that. I can only click on the door itself. Oh, it's perfect. Let's hide the hitboxes, F3B. It is very satisfying. That breeze sound effect is very satisfying. Obviously, if you're doing a data pack and resource pack, you can add whatever sound you like. Okay, now this is how I discovered the opacity trick that I did in the last video, because I forgot to remove it, and I created another one. And as you can see, I just went like that, and I went, oh, look, it's kind of a bit opaque. And I went, ah. That's how I came up with that idea. Anyway, what happens if we don't change its width? So here we are. We've set it to 0.99. In fact, actually, what we could probably no, this will only run. The next command block only runs if this one is successful. So what happens if we set this to 0.01? F3B. So it opens. Now the problem is now you can see it there. I can click on the wall and close it. So that is the only reason why here we are making it thinner, just so we can't click on that wall, because that's just weird. There we go. Oh, cool. We have a very, very cool, satisfying sci-fi door. We can walk through it, we can shut it, and then we can't go through. Cool. Okay. That's it for today. I was spinning around there, make myself dizzy. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.